Hello, and welcome to the 8th annual Mouton Door Awards right here on Black Sheep Reviews, taking a look back at the year in film that was 2012, which was an incredible year in film with so many filmmakers reaching new heights in their careers and abilities. And with this in mind, what finer example to lead this year's nominations than Paul Thomas Anderson's The Master, which leads with 8 nominations in total, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Original Screenplay, amongst many others. Next up on the leaderboard is the breathtaking Life of Pi from Ang Lee. It too is nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, and 4 others for a grand total of 6 nominations. Argo, Beasts of the Southern Wild, and Moonrise Kingdom round out the remaining Best Picture nominees, and each earns 5 Mouton d'Or nominations in total. And though they may have missed out on the top prize, Les Miserables and Silver Linings Playbook still have a strong showing, also with 5 nominations apiece. Before I get to the nominations, I just want to thank everyone who participated in the Black Sheep Reader's Choice poll. Your votes for your favorite films from 2012 were fascinating to read. There were a lot of interesting films across the board that I wasn't expecting to see, and your enthusiasm for the films that ended up being nominated was so passionate that ultimately I had to expand the category from 6 in total last year to 10 this year, and I'm very happy with the nominees in total. You can vote now for your favorite of the 10 nominees, and voting closes on Sunday, February 10th. You can vote on the Black Sheep website in the top right-hand corner of the sidebar, and I urge you to do so as many times as you'd like, and encourage your friends to do so as well. And so, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get right into the nominations for the 8th Annual Mouton d'Or Awards right here on Black Sheep Reviews. Beginning with the first category, Best Big Movie. The 5 films nominated here represent some of the most exciting times I've had at the movies this year from some of the bigger popcorn fare Hollywood has to offer. The nominations are The Avengers, The Dark Knight Rises, The Hunger Games, Les Miserables, and Skyfall. The 5 films nominated for Best Little Movie represent to me a distinct independent spirit, but as those awards are already taken, I cannot call it that, so these 5 films are some of the best independent pictures I've seen this past year. The nominees are Amour, Keep the Lights On, Laurence Anyways, Magic Mike, and Stories We Tell. When it comes to some of the worst movies in cinema, I obviously cannot see everything, and there's a great deal that I tend to avoid just on presumption that it won't be very good. The next films I list to you are the nominees for the worst movie I saw all year. The nominees are Detachment, Dr. Seuss's The Lorax, House at the End of the Street, The Innkeepers, and Where Do We Go Now? And now it's time for the Black Sheep Reader's Choice Award. Don't forget that you can vote for your favorite in the poll at the top right-hand corner of the website in the sidebar menu. So the nominees are Argo, The Avengers, The Dark Knight Rises, Django Unchained, The Hunger Games, Les Miserables, Life of Pi, Looper, Silver Linings Playbook, and Skyfall. The next category is Best Animated Feature, and due to what I consider a lack in quality programming this year, there are only 3 nominees in this category, and they are Brave, Frankenweenie, and Paranorman. To qualify for the next category, Best Looking Movie, there needs to be a cinematic element that stands out, whether that's visual effects or editing or cinematography or a combination of all of these things. So with that in mind, the nominees for Best Looking Movie are Anna Karenina, Life of Pi, The Master, Moonrise Kingdom, and Skyfall. Best music in a movie does not necessarily just apply to score. It can also take into consideration an amazing soundtrack or any other, sung material. Essentially, we're looking at music in a movie. The nominees are The Dark Knight Rises, Les Miserables, Life of Pi, The Master, and Moonrise Kingdom. And with that, we move into the acting categories, beginning with Best Supporting Actor. This year, there are only 5 nominees per category, as opposed to last year when we overinflated or supersized to 6 people per category. This year, narrowing it down was not as difficult. The nominees for Best Supporting Actor are Robert De Niro in Silver Linings Playbook, Leonardo DiCaprio in Django Unchained, Dwight Henry in Beasts of the Southern Wild, Philip Seymour Hoffman in The Master, and Ewan McGregor in The Impossible. Moving on to the ladies now with Best Supporting Actress. The nominees are Amy Adams in The Master, Sally Field in Lincoln, Anne Hathaway in Les Miserables, Helen Hunt in The Sessions, and Nicole Kidman in The Paperboy. And now we get to the lead roles, beginning with Best Actor. The nominees are Daniel Day-Lewis in Lincoln, John Hawkes in The Sessions, Hugh Jackman in Les Miserables, Joaquin Phoenix in The Master, and Denzel Washington in Flight. And as for the ladies, here are the nominees for Best Actress in a Leading Role. They are Jessica Chastain in Zero Dark 30, Jennifer Lawrence in Silver Linings Playbook, Emmanuelle Riva in Amour, Quvenzhané Wallis in Beasts of the Southern Wild, and Naomi Watts in The Impossible. The nominees for Best Ensemble essentially represent casts that don't necessarily have standout performances, although they might, but where the entire cast of actors comes together to really foster and create a very believable and tangible world amidst this great fakery of film. So the nominees for Best Ensemble Cast are Argo, The Hunger Games, Magic Mike, Silver Linings Playbook, and Skyfall. We move away from acting now and get to the written word, beginning with Best Original Screenplay. The nominees are Michael Haneke for Amour, Ryan Johnson for Looper, Paul Thomas Anderson for The Master, Wes Anderson and Roman Coppola for Moonrise Kingdom, and Sarah Polley for Stories We Tell. For Best Adapted Screenplay, the nominees are Chris Terrio for Argo, Lucy Alabar and Ben Zeitlin for Beasts of the Southern Wild, David Magee for Life of Pi, Tony Kushner for Lincoln, and David O. Russell for Silver Linings Playbook. The Best First Feature category was introduced last year and had 5 nominees. This year, due to a lack of quality programming, just like the animated feature category, there are but 3 nominees, and they are all wonderful, that said. The nominees for Best First Feature are Antiviral, Beasts of the Southern Wild, and Safety Not Guaranteed. There are but 2 categories left, and we get to one of the most anticipated right now with Best Director. The nominees are Ben Affleck for Argo, Paul Thomas Anderson for The Master, Wes Anderson for Moonrise Kingdom, Michael Haneke for Amour, and Ang Lee for Life of Pi. And with that, we have reached the conclusion of the announcement of the 2012 Mouton d'Or Awards. We have but one category left to get to, and of course that is Best Picture. Before we get to that, though, I would like to thank you very much for listening today, and remind you that you can now vote for the Black Sheep Reader's Choice Award just by visiting blacksheepreviews.com and going to the top right-hand corner of the screen, where you will see a poll in the sidebar. So again, thank you very much for listening today, and with that we will get to the nominees for Best Picture, and they are Argo, Beasts of the Southern Wild, Life of Pi, The Master, and Moonrise Kingdom. Thank you very much. The winners of the Black Sheep Review's Mouton d'Or Awards will be announced on February 16th, and voting for the Black Sheep Reader's Choice Award closes on Sunday, February 10th. Thank you very much, and have an awesome day.